Good morning. Shout out to my real deal family. Shouts to my TI family. Alright, this book is from 1909. It's actually a pamphlet. And it's by Jeremiah MacDonald. I don't know if everything in this pamphlet is true, other than that the earth is flat. What a cool map. Gotta look at this map one more time. So cool. Alright. Copyrighted April 10th, 1905 by J. MacDonald, M.D., Binghamton, New York. Here is a theory, a change fraught with a mighty importance to science and mankind, so much so that it has been declared by some of the greatest scientists of this age that if this discovery is true and will stand the test, it will easily rank as the greatest discovery that has ever been made in the annals of history. The following article is not new, of today, was printed in the Englewood, New Jersey Times in 1885. I was then laughed at as visionary, etc. by the public. The same paper also published my articles at that time on building a railroad to Alaska, as I claimed immense quantities of gold had settled around the Arctic Circle. Also, the article claiming electricity could be obtained direct from the earth instead of through steam and machinery. Also, the article demonstrating that by 1900 the world would be sending messages without wires by the aid of sympathetic instruments. Also, many other wonderful predictions that have since come to pass. Yeah, buddy. In this article, the object is to try to prove that the Earth is a disk a little lower in the center than at the edges and not round like an orange, as we have been taught to believe. The writer not only believes the Earth to be a disk, but that the Moon and all the planets are similar disks. All modern astronomers claim that the Moon and all the planets always present the same surface towards the Earth. If they were round like a ball and revolved on an axis, they would certainly present different surfaces every day, month, and year. If this is so, then the Moon and all the planets are disks, and if they are disks, then the Earth has the same form. We have been taught that the Earth is a globe about 8,000 miles in diameter and about 25,000 miles in circumference. This, when figured out, gives a natural curvature of 8 inches multiplied by the square of the distance to the mile. As 3/4 of the Earth's surface is water, then certainly every stretch of water should curve 8 inches multiplied by the square of the distance in each mile. Does it? If the Earth were globular, the altitude of perpetual snow would be the same south of the equator as it is north. The line of perpetual snow is highest in South America, 16,000 feet, and decreases as we go north until we reach Alaska, where it is only 200, or I think that says 2,000 feet. And going still further north, it is found perpetual at about 500 feet above sea level. If the Earth is round, vegetable growth would take place. As near the South Pole as it does to the North Pole, the fact is some forms of vegetation are found within 200 miles of the North Pole. Potatoes, oats, peas, barley, and other grains grow and produce crops in some portions of Greenland, Iceland, Lapland, and Siberia. As far north as the Arctic Circle, while not a living thing has been found south of Orkney or South Shetland Islands, 70 degrees south. If the Earth is round, there would be the same amount of twilight at an equal point south of the equator as there would be north of such a line. The fact is, there is much less. The twilight at, say, 40 degrees north latitude would be 90 minutes. The twilight for a corresponding time of the year at the equator would be 15 minutes, and at 40 degrees south latitude would be less than 5 minutes. At Melbourne, Australia, which is in about the same degree south latitude as Philadelphia is in north latitude, Reverend Father Johnson in his late missionary report says, quote, "We have from 5 to 6 minutes twilight morning and evening, and we must make preparations for the night while the sun shines, because when the sun sets it is dark immediately. It would therefore be very evident that the earth a globe, there would be co-equal twilight at equal points north or south of the equator." Very interesting. In 1839, Captain James Ross with Captain Crozier in the Erebus and Terror made the cruise around the world as far south as they could go, or near to the Antarctic Circle. From their reports, they measured the mountains 10,000 to 13,000 feet high. Jeez. And found a mighty belt of ice barriers from 450 to 1,000 feet high, which seemed to be perfectly level on top, and without any fissures or openings of any kind. The time consumed in this voyage was about 4 years, and the actual distance sailed as recorded by their log was about 40,000 miles. If the Earth is a globe, the distance around at this point would only be about 10,800 miles. If the Earth is a globe, the equator line is certainly not the center, as the lines of longitude increase in width south of the equator instead of decreasing as they go north of the equator. This is not theory, but actual and provable fact. A degree of longitude at Tropic of Cancer is 40 miles, while it is 75 miles at the Tropic of Capricorn, and 103 miles at Antarctic Circle. A very remarkable result of soundings by Nansen on board the Fram shows the North Polar Sea to be from 10,000 to 13,000 feet in depth, while no land is reported to be over 500 feet in height. Contrast this with Ross's report of the mountains of Antarctic being 10,000 to 16,000 feet high, and the depth of the water averaging but 426 feet, and the result is another proof of the disk theory, the outer edge being highest as the Earth spins around. In consideration of these newly discovered facts, astronomers and geodesists now accord the Earth to be pear-shaped, flat at the North Pole and drawn out at the south. Why not admit the more sensible idea that the Earth is a disk? Another proof that the Earth is flat is from the eclipses of the Sun. Take, for instance, the one of August 30th, 1905, visible in Western Europe and Northern Africa, the North Atlantic Ocean, and eastern part of British America, Greenland, Iceland, and eastern part of Northern Asia, Siberia.